Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Barricade podcast. I'm your host, Papa Dank. I just want to say thank you for watching the show. We'll have Alvin on real soon. And I want to thank my sponsor. I have a sponsor, although he hasn't finalized his company name and logo and all that stuff. But as soon as he does, I'll let you know who it is. But he is a great guy and took care of me with some of my equipment for my live shows. It's part of Vlog Interaction. All right, so without further ado, let's bring out the absolute Alvin Alvarez.
Hey,
what's up,
here he
Alvin?
is, Papa Dank. What's up, brother? How are you?
What's going on with you?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Healing up my wounds here from Saturday.
Oh, all right,
Man.
so let's jump
Man.
into it. Gold
Incredible,
Rush Rumble.
incredible.
You versus Percy Ryan, the so-called Lady Killer.
Yeah.
Talk to me
Wait.
about the match rules.
All right, well, set up. All right, so I found out about it about a week before. I found out it was going to be me and Percy, so it's all right. Then I found out that Silky Smooth was with him. So I said, okay. Silky Smooth. I mean, as you know, me and Silky Smooth have a big history. He was our manager when I was with Big Andre as the tag team champions.
That
And
freaking guy.
we still, and we still have issues there. Obviously, me and Andre never got along, and he left. But see, me and Silky still have issues. So obviously, this just rolls along to now instead of it being Andre's issue, now it's poor Percy's issue because I'm taking out on him. So I said, all right, let's get into it. And the match is going as planned. I know I had him in the sharpshooter, and next thing I know, I'm on the mat looking up at Percy. I'm like, what just happened here?
What happened?
You know? So supposedly what I had is Carolyn supposedly she taped it, so I watched it back, and Silky Smooth
here we go.
comes with this cane right to the back of my head.
Look at this comment right here. Respect the Crap podcast. So-called Lady Killer already the disparaging remarks 2 minutes in. That's their intern, by the way.
Yeah, who is the intern? Intern, yeah, right.
He's the intern. He gets the coffee, I guess.
Yeah. So and that's exactly what happened. So and then I watched it and I saw Adam Kane come up, distract the referee. I watched everything, so now I know exactly what happened. So I said, okay, and I didn't know this at the Rumble, but I knew I saw Adam because when I woke up, I saw Percy. I woke up and saw Percy, and I looked right at Adam. Percy jumped out, and I looked right at Adam. And I was like, you did something here. And he wouldn't say anything, of course, because he's not going to say anything.
Of course not.
So he jumps down. I said, okay. I said, we got a Rumble, and I'm ready. So I'll wait until he gets it. I don't even care about winning the Rumble at this point. I just wanted in to get Percy, Adam, and now this other guy. What's his name? This other dude that wrestled Desmond Cole? Casey. No, the guy that wrestled Desmond Cole.
Yeah. Casey Mack.
Casey Mack.
The King of Scots.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I get in the Rumble. I said, all right. I kind of dominated. It took Mouse. He bit me. I got a little mark on my forehead, but it was all right.
Yeah. He was hungry.
Right. Yeah. So here comes Adam Kane. He happens to be, I think I was 11. He was 12. Mm-hmm. So here comes Adam Kane. So let's go, man. Let's go time. I'm ready now. But he waits. He specifically waited. I don't know if he knew Percy was 13 or not, but Percy's 13. So he got in the ring, and I got a couple shots on him, and all of a sudden I get hit from behind by Percy. So now it's 2-on-1. So now I'm trying to get back, and everyone's, I got no allies in there at this point because I'm in there with mostly all these bad guys. So I got no allies. So I'm in there with Collins was in there, Mouse, nobody to help me. I think what's his name from the patrol? Starts with an M. I forgot the guy's name. He helped me, I think, for a second, and I was able to get kind of back on my feet. And then here comes what's his name that wrestled Desmond Cole, the Scot. He comes.
Yeah, Casey Mack.
Casey Mack. So Casey Mack is in. I'm like, okay, cool. Casey Mack might help. No, Casey Mack hits me from behind again.
Man.
And it's great because Karen saw we were able to watch it back and saw the Rumble, and it was always 3-on-1. And finally, Stockade hits the ring. Man, he actually gave me a shot, so he helped me, boom, boom, and then I got eliminated by Stockade.
Now known as Cade Lothbrok.
Cade Lothbrok, that's right. Everyone, of course, calls him Stockade.
I know. Everybody still calls him, yeah.
But yeah, man. So, but I know Adam. I will get Adam. I will get my hand. Cause it's Kane Industries.
The whole group.
I'll take the whole group, but I really want Adam because if it's me and Adam, I think I could somehow get to that silky smooth.
So is Casey Mack part of Kane Industries, or is he a flunky of theirs?
I don't know. See, I got to find that out because he seemed like they were all teaming up. They were all talking. I heard him talking above me.
Right.
Grab him this way, kick him this way, try to get him out. And I heard Mac talking, so I think they are.
The barrel is below the.
It's insane.
You know what I mean?
It's insane.
I'm so angry.
I know you were watching.
Especially at that silky guy.
Yeah. No, silky smooth. Silky smooth.
KJ Mack.
KJ Mack. KC Mack. KJ Mack. Whatever his name is. It's not going to matter. Because I'm taking out the whole industry.
So since Respect the Craft is on, is he a member of Kane Industries? Or is he a flunky?
KJ Mack.
We'll
see
what they say.
Okay. So they're getting backed by Respect the Craft. Okay. Isn't Gangone in that little group too?
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Anthony Gangone, that guy.
Yeah.
First of all, when they were on my show, they destroyed my set. So it was Gangone and that Percy guy. Destroyed my set.
Oh man.
So Gangone, I guess, is the hired gun for after they need someone.
Yeah, because I remember that Silky Smooth was with Anthony Gangone too. Oh boy!
Look at this. Wouldn't you like to know? Of course, we can't get a straight answer from Kane Industries.
Okay, of course. It's all right. It's all right. So Respect the Craft is back in Kane Industries. Okay.
Yeah, he's the intern.
Okay.
I mean, they accused me of being on your payroll. Silky accused me. So
maybe you are. Who knows?
Listen.
Who knows? Barricade or back
What's
that to Alvin. We'll take it. Let's do it.
Oh, we got another comment. More like Respect the Something podcast.
Exactly.
They're not internationally known like you.
Yeah, exactly.
So next month, Disorderly Conduct. It's the last VPW show of this year.
Yeah.
What is your thought process going into the show?
Adam Kane. Bite the head off the snake. Adam Kane.
He is the head snake.
Yeah. He seems like their leader. So
he's very scaly too.
Here we go. Yeah.
You hear that, VPW? Alvin versus Adam
Kane. Let's do it.
It's the grudge match of the decade.
And that's it. You know what? Maybe if I beat him, I want a little minute with that Silky Smooth guy.
Hey, how about that's the stipulation?
Kind of cool. Let's make that a stipulation.
Yeah, you win, and what you're going to win, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, we know that.
Obviously,
we know that he can't beat me.
When is Alvin going to hold some gold?
Yeah, I get to hold VP. Well,
you were the tag team champ.
We were longest reigning tag team champions too.
Yeah, you were. You were
tag team champions. Yeah,
absolutely.
Hold it through the pandemic. So
you and Andre.
Singles title. Maybe a singles title.
Maybe the New York State Championship.
Maybe
after you deal with
Kane Industries.
And that Silky guy. Maybe we can get him to dress better.
Silky Smooth. They got to get it.
He's so slimy.
He's got to learn how to tie a tie.
Why is he so slimy? That's what I want to know. Why is he so slimy?
He is. Who knows? But don't worry.
Oh, look at this. Would love to see Alvin and Papadon again.
Maybe. A lot of people want to see that match again. We were going to run it back last time on WC show, but
look at this. You can't get the boss that easily, Alvin.
Oh, okay.
Running. He's running. He's absolutely running.
He's definitely running.
He's running.
That alone told me he's running. So Respect the Craft. You could pass the word that I want Adam Kane next month at Disorderly Conduct 1-on-1. But he won't accept. We already know he won't accept.
Can you pass that along for us?
They will, but he won't accept. And they'll say, well, he's not ready. He didn't paint his toenails yet. Get him in the ring with me. Everything done.
Unbelievable. Look at that. He's actually laughing over there.
Yeah.
At what they did to you.
Can't get the boss that easy. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Okay, we will see. We will see.
All right, let's talk. Let's get away from BPW for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Saturday.
Big weekend. Huge weekend coming up. It's the NYWC Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
It's also House of Madness, which is a very landmark event for the NYWC. It's always been House of Madness used to be about the NYWC Tag Team Championships, and a lot of times throughout the years they were always defended in the cage and stuff like that. Like House of Madness is always a cool event.
Right.
But this year is something different. This year is going to be a casket match.
Ooh.
Pretty awesome as Joey Conway defends the NYWC Fusion title against the Man Bun Jesus.
Man Bun Jesus.
Yeah, that's one of the matches. There's a lot, and I'm in the show too, so it's gonna be kind of cool. It's me and JT Kazin, and we're gonna be taking on. It's a 4-way. I think it's a 3-way tag. I think they announced me, JT Kazin, I think versus Specialist. Couple guys in there. I forget. I look back at the thing. But it's a 4-way. I think a 3-way tag. I think it is 3 or 4-way tag.
Right.
So
Who's getting inducted?
So the Hall of Fame, very special Hall of Fame. One of my good friends, Apollyon, is going into the Hall of Fame. I've known Jeff. I've known Jeff for a really long time. We grew up together. The whole reason why I'm a wrestler is because of Jeff. So I get to induct him on Saturday. So that'll be kind of cool.
You guys have a mutual friend.
Yeah.
Cousin Lenny.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that guy?
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Actually, Lenny did the bidding to me to get in VPW, so it's awesome.
That's right.
Yeah, that is cool. But yeah, so it'll be Apollyon going in, and then it'll be Dickie Rods is also going in. So.
Dickie Rods.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him at some of the cap shows.
Yeah.
Years ago,
Yeah, Dickie's been everywhere, man.
He has been everywhere, hasn't he?
Dickie's 20+ years. He was like the first. He was like the first ever like NYWC student, you know. Like he is NYWC. Him and Mike Mondo, you know.
Right.
So it'd be kind of cool.
Papa D is AW, Alvin's AW. I don't know what that means, but okay. Brandon heard Lenny went back.
Oh, maybe he did.
He's pinching them pennies, Lenny.
Where is the Lenny?
Lenny's
the Len dog.
Lenny's doing all right. He's actually trying to get Apollyon on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's gonna. He wants to co-host with me.
Nice. Okay.
Cousin Lenny. Yeah.
Cousin Lenny. You should.
Yeah.
You should.
I gotta go pick him up though. He doesn't.
Oh yeah.
He likes to be chauffeured.
He does.
He's the star behind the star.
Oh, that's great.
All right, let's talk about some ducks. Tell me about your ducks and your passion for ducks.
Oh man, well, it's not necessarily my passion for ducks, but
Carolyn's
definitely my girlfriend Carolyn. The story behind the ducks is years ago. I guess Carolyn and her niece were, I think, in Florida, and they were around the ducks. So I think her niece's name was Jolena. So I guess Jolena took one of the ducks and kind of was holding it, I guess, and she was like, "Oh, we can't take the ducks home." So it was like an inside joke about ducks.
Right.
So fast forward about 2 years ago. Jolena calls me up and she's like, "Listen, I'm thinking of ordering ducks for Carolyn. You think that's a good idea?" And I'm like, "Sure, whatever, yeah." Not knowing what this entails, right, at the time.
Uh-huh.
So I said, "Sure, yeah." So we get the ducks. So we had them mailed, like post office mail to us.
Really?
So I get these 2 little baby ducks, and I had to go to a local place called Shirley Feed, which is over in Shirley. Mm-hmm. And get like whatever I needed for ducks because I had no clue what I needed for ducks. So I was like, "Listen, I'm getting 2 baby ducks. I don't know what I need." So he's like, "All right, you're gonna need some water supply. You're gonna need a little food thing. So you're gonna need it's like almost like sawdust for them to like poop and stuff in, like a little nest and stuff." So he got all the stuff. And so when Carolyn got home, the ducks were ready. I had all the stuff for her, so she loved it, you know. And then they lived in the house for a little bit until they got a little older. Then we kind of put them outside. Now we have actually little like a chicken coop that we put the ducks in now, like at night. So it was kind of cool.
You got to protect them from,
but it's work for the raccoons.
Predators.
From the raccoons,
Yeah.
we lost a couple of ducks because of raccoons.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
So we had to get some new ones. Yeah, raccoons are vicious, man.
They are vicious.
Vicious animals, man.
They're always trashing my garbage can.
Oh yeah. You gotta put the lock things on top of the garbage can. You know,
we finally got locks.
Yeah,
they weren't an issue for a while, but recently they've been.
Yeah,
I guess there's not enough food for them.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, you definitely need to lock it up.
Tell me about some of your origins, like how you started training and who your trainers were, and your drive to be a wrestler.
Sure, yeah. So I was always huge wrestling fan. I got into wrestling, I would say, early 1997. So I started watching, obviously, early WWF, early WCW, like the whole Monday Night Wars. And then a local friend of mine, which is actually Jeff Apollyon, I met him in middle school. So him and I have been friends since middle school. We kind of like wrestling and started doing it in the backyard.
Right.
So we were at the time we're living in Coram, and in the town right next to Middle Island. At they had a King Cullen, it was still there. King Cullen is it, and we had a wrestling ring behind the King Cullen. So we actually got like 4 cool trees that were actually kind of kind of in like a nice little square, and we actually got like the real turnbuckles. We screwed them into the trees and really created like a nice little ring.
Right.
And that's where we did shows. And it's cool because Tony Nese was there. So Tony Nese was there. Jeff was there. Polyon. A whole bunch of other kids were there. And trained guys would somebody come and train with us. Like they would come and hit the ropes and come in the ring. Guys like Don Moore would come down, who was fully trained. Guys like Livewire, Mike Mondo, he would come down. Earl Cooter was outside the NWA. He would come down. Like a lot of guys would come down. So I've known these guys for years because they would come down and wrestle with us. It was kind of cool. And then that's when Jeff decided, listen, I'm going to go get fully trained. So he went off to the HWA at the time. I don't know if you know much about the HWA.
No, but talk about it.
All right. The HWA, it's a hardcore wrestling alliance.
Okay.
So the HWA is one of the first main indie feds on Long Island, besides like the Long Island Wrestling Federation, which is was out more in Nassau County. But real Suffolk County indie wrestling was the hardcore wrestling alliance. And a lot of guys from ECW would come in and wrestle. Guys like Mikey Whipwreck, who at the time was in this is like 98, I want to say. So him and Tajiri would team it up, you know what I'm saying? So he would come down. I would watch him on MSG at midnight and then go to HWA and watch him live. You know, it's kind of awesome. And a lot of guys came down. Justin Carino would come down. A lot of these guys would come to the HWA. And that's where I saw my first indie wrestling show. Paul Loria, exactly. Yeah, Paul Loria was one of the trainers. Storm and Mike Norman, who's actually part of NYWC owner right now, Mike Norman. He was one of the trainers there. That's where King Mega was trained. And that's where Jeff early began his training in late 99. So then Jeff made his debut for actually the NYWC a little later that year. But yeah, we go to shows. And then once Jeff made his debut, we were all friends with Jeff, so we would just watch him. So HW wound up closing their doors, I want to say late 99, early 2000. And then Mikey continued to train guys under what was called the QWA, the Question Mark Wrestling Alliance. They only ran one show out of the Deer Park Community Center. But Jeff was on that show, and we went and saw him. And then right after that was the formation of the New York Wrestling Connection. It was more of the QWA, HWA guys, and then the Long Island Federation, Long Island WF, the LIWF, Long Island Wrestling Federation. Those guys like Critical Mass and Curse and those guys. And they kind of formed together to create this New York Wrestling Connection. That's how the NYWC was formed. Really early, late 2002, early 2003. So at this part, Jeff was already on shows. So we're going to the NYWC, and that's when I start going as a fan. So I start meeting these guys like Dickie Rods, Mike Mondo, Tyler Payne, Kurt Hawkins, and Ryder. Back then it was Brett Myers and Brian Myers and Brett Matthews, you know. Myers and Matthews, that was the famous tag team before they got signed. Trent Beretta, Matt Stryker, Rob Echoes, who's now an agent for NXT. Oh, man, a lot of guys would come down, man. A lot of guys that were in WWE, yeah. A lot of guys got signed to OVW early on from NYWC, you know, because OVW at the time was a training school. So Jim Cornette ran the training school in OVW. This is 2005, 2006. Guys are going down to Deep South, like Myers and Matthews went down to Deep South, Zach Ryder, Kurt Hawkins. So a lot of guys are getting picked up from the New York Wrestling Connection, which is awesome because I got a chance to see all that while watching Jeff because we're all there because of Jeff, you know. Then later on, Tony Nese starts training. So he gets trained by Mikey Whipwreck. So he's another one of my close friends. He gets trained by Mikey Whipwreck. So now he's doing shows. So now we're going to see those two. So fast forward a couple years later, I wound up going to college. They wanted me to join the school. I was like, no. I actually checked out a class at Critical Mass before it closed down in Hicksville. I went and checked out a class, and I was like, nah, it's really not for me at this time. You know, I'm going to go ahead and go to college. And I want to go into college, get my bachelor's degree, and want to go back for my master's. And then Nese, me and Nese always kept close. And he was also a bowler, so he would bowl on Thursday. So I see Nese every Thursday. And he's like, listen, man, are you going to train? He's like, you want to do this forever? And I'm like, no, like I want to do something. Like, that time I think I was playing semi-professional football. So I was doing that. Like, I was active. And then finally one Thursday, like maybe like a couple months later, he comes up to me and he's like, listen, I took over the training school. I was like, me and Alex Reynolds are running the training school now. So why don't you finally do it? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. And he's finally like, listen, I'm going to be at your house on this Sunday at 2:30. Have wrestling shoes and knee pads. And I was like, all right, like here we go. So I was like, all right, I can't say no now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I went to Sports Authority and got my stuff, and I started my training September 11th, 2011. How funny is that? 9/11/2011. 10 years after 9/11, I started. That's the first day of my training. First I started training school.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So fast forward a year later. Oh, good.
Fast forward. Go ahead.
Fast forward a year later. I finally make my debut. August 16th, 2012. Tag team match. It was me and King Mega against J Red and Spider at the NYWC, Harder Hill.
Wow. Now, did you stay out in Long Island during the time between that and VPW? That's probably where I saw you first.
Yeah. I was mostly the NYWC was I was wrestling. So I mostly did the NYWC. And back in the day when VPW started, there was a lot of heat there
between the two companies,
NYWC,
right?
There was a lot of heat there.
Oh, let's go into that.
Yeah, like I don't know the exact details.
I kind of heard some of it, a little bit of
hearsay. So I'll tell you what I heard. Like I don't know if this is. Don't hold me to this. I don't know if this
fine.
is the truth. I don't know. This is what I heard. What I heard, there was heat between Sean and Curse. So Spider was also Spider still makes all my gear, by the way. I love Spider. I'm trying to get him back in the ring, by the way. Thank you for bringing that up, Lance. But anyway, so supposedly it was heat between like a Sean and John Curse,
right.
And
the former
owners of NYWC and former owner of VPW.
Okay.
Yep, and there was heat. So when I came up, it was like you can go anywhere, but you cannot wrestle VPW.
Each other's shows, yeah.
The reason why is because when NYWC left the Deer Park Community Center and got their own building at the Sportatorium where they run shows now, VPW moved right in behind us.
Right.
And we thought that was a threat. Because remember, they had guys like VSK, Eric James, Kevin Fulton. Those guys were doing shows there. And we're like, oh, no. We're Suffolk County Wrestling. Like, whoa, you're coming in our back door. So,
right. So they're invading your turf.
Yeah, it was like, yo, back up. Like, no, this is NYWC territory. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like Vince coming into Deep South. To Deep South. It's like, no, man, this is our territory, and that's where the animosity started. So eventually, like, Curse kind of fell out, and he left NYWC, and Sean left, and that's why I think Tina took over VPW. Right. And it's funny because we brought up what's his name? Jeff's friend, who's doing the podcast with you. I can't think of his name. Lenny. Good old Lenny.
Cousin Lenny.
That's right. I was going to say Cousin Lenny. It's funny because I ran into Cousin Lenny and I went to Jeff's house for WrestleMania. Oh, okay. Cousin Lenny was there, and I think he recently took over, I guess, the booking for VPW and stuff. And he's like, listen, we'd love to have you down. At that point, I was kind of on my tail end at NYWC. I kind of was having a falling out with the things that were going on there. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yeah, I'm in. And he's like, and that's when I guess he contacted John. Radio, I think, was still booking at the time. Right. So he called Radio. I was like, listen, get him in. And I got in. It was me against Coach in March of 2018.
The Coach.
Yeah, me
Coach Mamone.
Yep.
Now retired and happily
and a baby girl.
Happily married, baby, everything.
Yeah.
He's got the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, he's got everything.
Hey, maybe, a little Coach coming in the future.
Hey, yeah. Well,
future wrestler.
Well, you never know. Yeah.
You never know.
So, yeah.
Never know. When do we have a little Alvin coming?
Maybe. We'll see. We will see. Hopefully sooner than later. But yeah. But no, yeah. So that's kind of how I got started.
Oh, you're biased, JJ.
JJ, hey.
JJ Denk, newest member of the podcast. Wow, you got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of people and just so excited for you. You got a lot of good stuff. A lot of good matches I've seen through you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I remember your Cade match in the Doors match.
Yeah, that was insane. Me and Cade have wrestled. I think we had 9 singles matches. We've had 9.
Shout out to the days at FBW.
At FBW, yes, Fiborough.
Great interview. Alvin has great stories.
Talking about Fiborough. Thank you. Talking about Fiborough, man.
Let's talk about.
Now Fiborough's a really cool story. So
I'm gonna keep you on too long. You get in trouble.
I know. Right? Troy, no, I'm good. I can talk about wrestling all day long. Like I was like. Yeah, podcast, and I go on for hours. But
all right, let's keep it rolling.
So here we go. All
right.
Fiborough. Fiborough's run by a guy named Troy Thompson. Mm-hmm. He was a promoter. So Nice at the time was the champion. So Nice, I was like, hey Nice, try to speak word, try to get me in. So he's like, all right, I'll try. What can I do? So like a year goes by. In 2014, he finally get a call from Troy. He's like, he's like, yo, he's like, you free tonight? You want to work? I was like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, all right, come down, 6 o'clock, whatever. So I get there. I'm like, oh, it's awesome. He's like, guess who you work? I'm like, who? Haku. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you're wrestling Haku.
Holy
Haku,
cow.
Mang, Haku. I used to watch Mang on WCW.
Yeah,
Haku,
me too.
Back in WrestleMania 5, King Haku. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. So he was double booked. So he had another booking. So he got there late. So I was just making sure I was ready, and then as soon as he got there, it was awesome because at that time my hair was long. Right. So he came and he's like, hey man, you look like a younger me. And I was like, oh, it's fucking awesome. He's like, listen, if you ever want to do, I told him, listen, I was thinking of maybe one day doing a Samoan gimmick. He's like, yo, you have my blessing if you want to do a Samoan gimmick. Now, I don't know if you know the Samoan culture is if you're not Samoan, you cannot do a Samoan gimmick. And I'm not Samoan. Oh. So you have to have a blessing from like an OG Samoan to do the gimmick if you ever wanted to. And so I did get the blessing from Haku. And if I ever do want to do a Samoan gimmick, I can. I got his blessing. But he's like, yeah. He's like, so what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. At this time, I'm only like 3 years in the business. Actually, 2.5 years. I was 2.5 years in the business. So I was like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you want to do? He's like, what can you do well? I was like, at the time, I was like, I could do a nice second rope clothesline. I come off the ropes with a nice crossbody. He's like, okay, we'll do that. He's like, you bump me. I was like, bumping you? I was like, what? Like, it was just wild that I'm going to be bumping Haku around. Wow. And he's like, yeah. It's like a finish shot, get you, boom, boom. Finish is I was like, I already know the finish. I already know it's the tongue and death. I already know. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew it because I've been watching him so long. So I was like, I knew it. I'll feed
Look at you. You're all excited.
Like I knew. I get excited talking about wrestling. Like wrestling is everything
that's awesome,
to me, man. So it's like I knew the finish. Because I obviously studied this guy, so I knew everything. So I kind of knew where everything needed to be. But it's funny. We started the match, so we tie up, and I put him in a top wrist lock, right? So I got him top wrist lock. And he's like, oh, loosen up, motherfucker. And I'm like, shit. I'm like, I don't want to fucking get my ass kicked. Right.
You're in there with me.
So I lightened up quick, man. I was super light. And it's funny because I work light like that now in the ring. So I was super light and everything. So we get to the finish. He puts me in the Tongan death grip. Now, I gotta find the photo. There's a photo of me in the Tongan death grip. And then I'm probably smiling because I'm so happy to be in this move. Like I had to hide my smile because I'm getting the Tongan death grip by May. I was so excited. Like I'm down. I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
That's awesome, yeah.
And it's cool because I sold it. I tapped out, boom, boom. And he whispered, he's like, yo, thanks again, kid. And he rolled out. And I was like, thank you. And he rolled out. And he went right out the door.
That's awesome.
So that by far is my favorite wrestling memory of all time is my Metro Haku.
That's awesome.
So that's Five-Bar Wrestling. And it's funny, another cool story about Five-Bar Wrestling. I met a lot of people at Five-Bar Wrestling. I met the Young Bucks at Five-Borough. I met Kenny Omega at the Five-Borough. Like, they did shows.
How was it like meeting them?
So we're all in the locker room. So Young Bucks are mad cool. The Young Bucks are awesome. Like, everyone said hi, and everyone was very nice. Kenny Omega's probably one of the nicest guys I can meet. I met him. Who else did I meet? Think of the guys that just work Five-Bar. PJ Black. Met him. He's a great dude. Because Nice was a steady there. Right. So Nice was booked every Five-Borough show, so I was always with him. So it was awesome. So I met so many people, man, doing Five-Borough. And it's funny because I had a storyline at Five-Borough with Sonny Kiss.
Really?
Which was fire. Like, the story was so cool. It was me, my friend Wagner, who was Ultimo Maya. We had a storyline where, obviously, Sonny is a male. Right. She born a male. So I was like, hey, but she kind of wore gear like a female. So I was like, hey, why don't I have a crush on Sunny? And I think that she's a female. And then my buddy Wagner, Ultimo Maya, would be like, no, she's actually a guy. And I don't believe him. I'm like, no. So we had this spot where Sunny was wrestling Rob Echoes. Robbie E, I guess. So they end the match, and I come out with flowers, and I give him to Sunny. And he's standing there, and he's just like shocked that I'm there. So he quickly dips out of the ring, and I want to do a whole storyline of this is where we're going. Like I'll be Sunny's protector because I fall in love with her. So every match I'll be ringside, and I help her, and I do this, and I keep helping her till eventually I find out that she's actually a guy. And then I do the turn, wham, and we go into a hot program. Like we had it all mapped out, and Troy never did it. I'm so upset.
Oh man,
Troy never did it. Like we had I did promos. Like I'm sure Wagner and me have all these promos on tape. like we did promos of this, like where I'm watching Sonny and I'm like, you don't know what I'm doing, like I'm jerking off or whatever, like I'm in the corner like watching the Sonny thing, and Wagner comes in like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, nothing. I jump up like, what are you talking about? It was funny, man. We had so much fun filming those, and Troy never used it, man. He never used it.
What did Sonny think of that?
Sonny, I hope he was down for it. I kind of talked to him a little bit about it, but I think that's time he was kind of starting to kind of get heat, not heat, but fuel behind him. He was started working everywhere.
Right.
So I think he was like, oh, whatever. Like if we get to it, we get to it. But if not, I'm working at. He definitely got a boost, and that's when he eventually was signed with AEW. But yeah, it never happened. It sucks. But that's what I think of when you say 5-Bar Wrestling.
Sonny Kiss, quite a talent at AEW.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's awesome. Yeah. And I saw. I went back. I was backstage twice. I was backstage in Philly. I was back.
Yeah, let's talk about that after.
Actually, yeah. No, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll talk about Sonny and then.
Oh, so he awesome. Every time I see Sonny, awesome. We always have that mutual respect because we worked Ace together too.
Right.
So we did 8 shows together too. So I've known him for years, and awesome. And I'm so proud of him. Like he's awesome. Like what he does and stuff he does is just phenomenal.
Awesome. They didn't use him for a while, but I'm glad that they're using Sonny Kiss now.
Yeah, with the Truth Buster and VSK too. VSK, good friend of mine too, and he's in it. Yeah, man.
Jeez.
Like it's crazy. When I was back there for AEW, it's like all the talent got off the bus, and I know all of them because I've worked like 80% of them. So
how did you get booked in AEW?
All right, so
let's talk some behind the scenes.
Once again, my good friend Tony Nese, he's been helping me out my majority of my career. So he was up there, and I wound up getting Sean Dean's contact. Sean Dean's he coordinates the AEW extras. So I wound up getting his contact.
Sean Dean, that's right.
And I shot him an email.
He's on Sammy's vlog.
Yeah.
And he does the little stick with the interns. Yeah.
So I shot him a quick email, but never got a response. So I'm like, all right. So I just texted Nese. I was like, hey, man. And me, I'm not the guy to do this. I'm not a guy to ask handouts. Like Eddie Kingston talked about this in a recent podcast, and I feel the same way. It's like, I hate reaching out to people. Hey, can you get me booked? Like, I just hate that.
Right.
But I'm like, forget it. Let me shoot my shot. Like I have a shot at this. I was like, hey, Nese, if you don't mind, just shooting the line to Sean. Just if you tell him to kind of if you could put an Iggy out for me to see if you can get me on booked. And right after that, man, next day I got an email from Sean Dean. Come down to UBS Arena. And so I got down there and met all the guys. A lot of them I knew and worked. And I was able to get the little security thing with MJF. So I was in the ring with that. Yeah, got a nice right hand from Wardlow. And that was the first time. And then I was able to go back in Philly.
You were just there recently.
Yeah, I was back when they were in Philly. So I wound. So when they were in Philly, it's funny because when I got to Philly, waiting for all to get checked in, and while we're getting checked in, the bus comes in from all the talent. The talent stay at a local hotel. So the bus brings in all talent. As the talent gets off, I know every one of them. So John Silver, Alex Reynolds, Private Party, Butch and the Blade. Like I worked all these guys. So it's like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Like they're all lined up to kind of greet me. It was kind of awesome.
All right. So you know everybody.
Santana Ortiz, MJF, all those guys. I've worked all those guys in the Indies. So it's like I'm in the back, like just BSing with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Even Jericho, I knew him from the Kiss Cruise. So him and I spoke with Kiss Cruise. So Chris gets there. He's like, hey, what's up, Alvin? I'm like, Chris, how are you? It's like it's kind of cool, when you kind of know a lot of the guys, But
that's awesome.
But yeah, so just waiting to get a dark match. So hopefully I'll be back. Put an email to Sean to try to actually get booked for Full Gear. Full Gear is actually right here in the Prudential Center.
Yeah, next month, I know.
So next month, so see if I get that. If not, I'll just keep plugging and keep trying and keep having good matches and get my tape to people and we'll see what happens.
If you go to Full Gear, it's the same day as VPW.
I know, so I got to back out of that. But I told John, I think he knows already that just in case if I get booked, I'm out. I won't be there.
AEW's AEW.
But we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see.
I got another question.
Funny, I was going to bring that up, Lance. That's an awesome question. No, because I would have posted that today. It's funny. I was going to post something because I like posting and putting up my friends, man. And it's the Hall of Fame. So I posted a cool bunch of stuff with Apollyon and Dickie Rods, and I posted a match with me and Apollyon. I was going to post something about. I would post a match with Dickie Rods, but I never had one. I never had a singles match, not a singles one. I have had a 3-way, not a sexual 3-way.
Right.
I did do a triangle match. It was me, Dickie Rods, and Brandon Knight. And I think it was either a student show or it was a birthday show. It wasn't a normal NYWC show, so it wasn't filmed. So it sucks. So I was only in the ring with Dickie for one, but I want I want a singles match with Tiki Rods, and I told him that. So hopefully before he promised me actually last show before he retires, I'll get a singles.
You'll have the match with him.
Yeah. Oh, we'll tear it down.
Maybe at EPW. You never know.
And another person I want to, or a couple of people I want singles matches with.
Yes, go ahead.
The next person I want a singles match with is Alex Reynolds. Alex Reynolds. He's one of my trainers, so I want a singles match with him. I want a singles match with Homicide. Mm-hmm. Never had Homicide in the ring, and I want a singles match with Azrael. Okay. So those are a couple guys on my list that I want singles matches with before I retire, before I go anywhere. You know, because I want matches with those guys because I can learn from those guys. Right. They'll teach me something that I'm missing. You know, Alex, he'll always teach me something because we did one match, me and Alex. Yeah, I do look forward to getting Conway. Eventually, Conway's in a program, but eventually I'll get with Conway. But I did wrestle Alex on a student show, and it was awesome, and I learned a lot. And so I know if I get in the ring with Alex again, I know I'll learn a ton. I know he'll show me something. Even guys like Papadon, even though I was in the ring with Papadon, Papadon showed me I need to slow down a little bit. You know, I was a step ahead of him. If you really break the match down, you'll see I'm a half a step ahead of him. So I was like, okay, when I watched the match back, I was like, I need to slow down. I still need to slow down. You know what I'm saying? After 10 years, I still gotta slow down a little bit. You know, I think, it could for me, I want to say like 2015, 2016, as far as ring psychology goes. And it clicked as far as, okay, this needs to be here, this needs to be here, I got to be here. You know, just to know where I'm at in the ring at all times throughout the match and where people need to be. Almost like directing. Right. You know, it took me a while to get the directing part. Okay, is he here? Is he here? All right, that person's there. Okay, good. We can run the spot. You know, okay, the spot needs to be here. I got to walk the hard cam. Okay, I have a floor camera here. I have to show my facials too. You know, it took me a while to get to learn that. Right. So after a while, I felt comfortable learning all that. And but when I wrestle these guys, I know they're gonna give me that little bit of what I need to do, and either slow me down or speed up. You know, when to speed up, when to slow down. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like little intricacies of professional wrestling. I'll learn that from those guys. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got your head together, sir.
Yeah, man. I'm ready. Like I'm focused, man. Like I'm in the best shape I've been in wrestling.
I see you working out every day.
Yeah, man. I'm in the gym. Yeah, Caroline, she actually's been dragging me to the gym recently. You know, but yeah, man. I think I'm in the best shape I've been in wrestling, so I'm ready.
What's your diet look like nowadays?
You know what? It's pretty clean. I try to really cut a lot of carbs. So in the morning, I mostly have a protein shake. You know, right after the gym. Mm-hmm. Usually about 11, 12 o'clock, I'll either have like 10 ounces of tuna, or depending, I might have like a roll with my meal, a little bit of carbs. I try to stay carbless, but if I do, I'll try to go a lower carb. And then dinner, either I have another carb with meat, like a basic protein, the steak, shrimp, it could be seafood, could be meat, and have like a small carb. I want to try to keep my carbs under 90 grams a day.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. So
I go try to do the same thing, and I eat rice. That's my problem.
Yeah. Try to limit to like a cup of rice, and try to measure your food if you can. You know.
But you go to the bodega, and it's like this huge ass. Yeah. But I try to eat like a couple of times a day instead of like eating snacks. Like I won't eat cookies and stuff like that.
Nice.
I try to stay away from that at least.
Right. No, of course. And another good thing too for me was I stopped drinking alcohol. So I haven't had alcohol beverage since January 15th. So I don't drink any alcohol anymore. So that was a huge thing for me. Like I cut so much weight just from not drinking. Because after I stopped drinking, so February, March, I was still kind of eating sloppy, but I was shredding weight. I was just 2 pounds a week was coming off. Like it was flying off me, and I was like, oh man, this is kind of cool. So
just from the alcohol.
Just from the alcohol alone. You know, and then I started tightening up my diet. Now I'm kind of fine tuning now where I'm not losing as much weight. But I'm fine. Now I got to fine tune where my calories, my protein, and stuff need to be. But it's awesome.
Right.
It's awesome.
Were you drinking like once a week?
I was drinking almost every day, bro. At one point, yeah. It wasn't a problem because when I stopped, like I didn't have to shakes or anything, so I wasn't alcoholic or anything. But I was just drinking just to drink. Like why was I drinking so much? You know. So it was like 4 or 5 times a week. You know. Wow. So her and I both were like, you know what? Let's cut it. So we cut it. Haven't looked back, you know.
That's awesome.
So it's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's even better because now I think I'm in a tag team with JT Kazin, who's like the drunk. He brings the beers and stuff in the ring.
Oh man, what's up, Angel?
There he is.
Wow. Any questions from the? Besides Lance, Lance got all the questions.
Yeah, man.
Can you go live more often? Well, I'm gonna try. I'm a busy guy.
You should.
Just like Alvin. We're all busy.
You gotta go live more often.
I'm trying. I mean, I got some stuff coming up. It's just my schedule with, I work at Walmart, just so everybody knows. I'm a manager. So my schedule is like crazy, hectic.
Like the store manager. He's like the leader over there.
I'm close to it.
Yeah, man.
Close to it. So if you need anything from Walmart, come visit me.
Yeah.
Actually, during the pandemic, I helped some of the wrestlers out.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Yeah, like Johnny Collins was looking for a weight set. When
really?
everybody was buying them.
Yeah.
There was no weight sets, and they weren't coming in because everybody bought them all.
Yeah.
We had like a ton of weight sets before, and now all of a sudden there's a shortage. Oh, so I helped them out. I got them some weight sets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
All right, we're going to change the subject for a second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of our passions. Freestyle music.
Freestyle music. Freestyle music. You know what? When we talk about freestyle, it reminds me just of like the early 90s because I always had older cousins. So I had older female cousins. And they used to live with me, years ago. So when when freestyle music was popular, from like 87 to 91, 92, they would be playing the stuff. And I would be a kid, at the time I was 6, 7, 8 years old listening to this music. So when I became, became a teenager, I really stuck with the music. So I kept with it. And to this day, so freestyle music is my thing, man. I love it.
I love it. Who's your favorite group?
Put you on
the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot.
No, my favorite is TKA, by far TKA.
TKA.
By far TKA because the first cassette tape I ever got was Louder Than Love on cassette by TKA. My cousin got it for me. She got 2 copies, one for herself, one for me. And first ever cassette I ever owned was TKA, Louder Than Love, the album.
Louder Than Love.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite song?
No, favorite song is You Are the One.
Okay. I love Maria. That's gotta be my favorite.
I love playing Maria like at parties. Like I throw on Maria. It's a good segue. It's a good segue because I'll go from 70s funk. So I'll go from like Bob James and Maria used Bob James, take me to the Mardi Gras. So I'll go from that right into Maria. Right. It's kind of cool. Like I'll speed up Bob James. Like I've done it, I think, on the video. Like I'll speed up Bob James. I'll go drop right into Maria. Maria. It always gets a pop.
I know. We got a question for you. If you could choose to be one for the rest of your life, would you choose professional wrestler or professional DJ? From Ryan Dust.
I want to. Okay, there's a smart decision, and then there's a passion decision. So passion would be wrestling,
gotcha.
But the smart would be professional DJ because it pays double the price of professional wrestling, and I don't have to break my body. I could just stand there and play records all day. So smart decision is professional DJ, but the passion decision, what I would want to do, would be wrestling.
Now, did you just start DJing? Or have you been doing it since you were like a kid or something? No,
I've always been fascinated with the DJ. So whenever I could go into clubs or bars back then, when there were clubs, I don't know if there's clubs now, but back then when there were clubs. And I always loved a good set, like a good musical set. Loved it. So I would always be fascinated by the DJ and how they would mix songs and what songs would they want. And I was always cool with like sampling, like using old songs to create new songs. So I'd always know a lot of old songs because my dad was a jazz professor. Right. Jazz assistant jazz professor. He used to teach jazz at Suffolk County Community College. So awesome. I knew music theory, I knew music, and I knew a lot of 70s. So a lot of times when modern rap or 90s rap at the time would reuse a lot of songs, I would know it, and that would be cool. Kind of how they just a sampling thing and how they used to sample was always interesting to me. So right before the pandemic, it was actually the fall of 2019. My stepson Mikey, Carolyn's son, wanted to take up music, so he wanted to buy a guitar. Mm-hmm. So we went to Guitar Center to pick up an amp. Right. So at that point, I walk in, I see all the DJ stuff. So of course, I go over and I try playing with it, scratching. There was a little control there, so I kind of was scratching on it and playing. I was like, you know what? I was like, I think I want to do this. Right. Let me give this a shot. And a couple months went by, and then the pandemic hit. So I said, all right, let's do this now. I think it's a good time. I have some downtime. So I bought all my stuff, and I bought like a little controller. I bought a speaker, and I had my laptop. So I downloaded some songs. I downloaded a program called Serato, and I said, all right, I'm going to teach myself. So I started watching stuff on YouTube. And then I found a video by DJ Rob Swift, who is he's a DJ for the Executioners DJ group. Uh-huh. He was also DJ for Akinelli back in the 90s, which is kind of dope. So he was giving lessons. So I jumped on with him, and I got private lessons from him. And he taught me not only how to DJ, but how to what's called beat juggling, rearranging the beat, like being a drummer just with turntables.
Right.
And he showed me this root movements on how to do all that stuff. So there's 10 root movements you have to learn. So I learned all the root movements, and now I'm kind of just creating my own style of turntablism. And it's kind of cool, and just diving into that. And I found that so interesting, creating my own beat, creating my own set, and taking a song and rearranging it my way, being creative. I think that's so awesome and so fascinating to me that every day, I actually was just on the turntables just now. I'll be on them and I just want to create music. Like, it's just really fun for me to jump on turntables and create things,
Awesome. So what type of music are you mostly playing around with?
So I'm mostly playing around with hip hop, a lot of hip hop, a lot of stuff with with kind of a lower beats per minute, and really just make it sound funky. So I'll take like an MC Light song, like I posted a week ago, like an MC Light song, like Roughneck, or a song like a Caesar song, like It's My Turn, or something like that, where it has a nice kick drum, a nice solid snare, and I'll take those two sounds and kind of just rearrange them to make a 4x4, structured music.
Right.
So what I'll do is I normally play the song, let the crowd hear this what the song normally sounds like, and then start to rearrange it and make it sound kind of just funky. Something you can just kind of nod your head to, That's it.
What about, hold on, Flex drops the bomb, DJ Clue has a laugh. What would be your DJ call?
I have actually 3 of them. I have a wrestling ring, like the bell ring, ding 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 ding, and I have a bowling ball rolling down the lane. So it's like, and you hear the pins crash. So I use those 2, and I use my voice. I use Absolute Alvin on the mix. I'll do something like that, Or you're in the mix, Absolute Alvin, something like that.
I just got a message from our good friend K7.
Oh, all right.
He was gonna try to jump on, but unfortunately, he's had the flu since last week and lost his voice.
Oh no!
But he wants you to know that he supports you.
Thank you, my man K7. Thank you.
Yeah. What a good guy.
Yeah, no, he is. Really good dude. I'll tell you a story how I met him. I think I told you a story, right?
Yeah. Tell the audience.
Okay. So how me and K7 became really close. So I used to get to the freestyle shows early because we like to drink. At that time, I was drinking. So me and Karen would get to the free shows early. We'd have a couple of drinks. We'd go into the show, have an awesome time. So we pull up early to the one in Coney Island. So it was September 2018. They do the show in Coney Island. It's usually Labor Day weekend.
Right.
So we pull up to the show. We got there early. We back in. Boom, boom. We start drinking, listen to freestyle. And it was like Explorer. Like, no, it was actually an Expedition pulls up right next to us. There's a ton of spots, but this Expedition pulls in right next to us. All right, it's kind of cool, whatever. So everybody gets out, and the guy gets out of the passenger seat, and I'm like looking, I'm like, yo, that's K7. Like, I knew immediately because I've been following the group. I've been following the group for 20 years. I was like, oh man, that's K7. And I knew, So I whispered to Cal, and I go, that's K7. He's like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. He's like, let's go say hi. I'm like, no. Like, I was all nervous. I was like, no. Now, Carolyn, she got up and she was like, yep, walks right around. Hey, his daughter was brand new at the time. She was baby. So he walks up and says, hey, is that your brand new baby? Is it mind if I hold her? Like, and so Carol's holding the baby. And so now I got to get out. So me all shy, I get out of the car. I'm like, hey, So I walk over and I'm like, hey, Alvin, nice to meet you. So I meet K7, I meet his wife. I meet the main one of I guess bodyguards, one of the main guys he travels with. And it actually gave me a free shirt, which is kind of cool. So he tossed me this free shirt. So before we go in, I take the free shirt and I post it on Instagram. I go, hey, nice to meet you, K7. It was awesome. K7 gave me a shirt, blah, blah. And then he messages me, private messaged me on Instagram. He's like, hey, I didn't know you were a wrestler. That's kind of awesome. I got to check out one of your shows. I'm like, oh, shit, K7, like, what? Like, so I hit him back. I'm like, hey, man, anytime. I was like, you're still in New York. And we had like a conversation. Like, no, I'm in Jersey. But it's like, funny, I wrestle in Jersey. So come check out the show. And that's kind of how we linked up. He was going to come check out the show. A couple of shows he could make or whatever. So finally, it was our return show. The one he came to, he's like, yo, I can make that one. Right. And I was like, awesome, come down. He's like, I'm going to be in the area. I was like, I'll come through. And it's like, perfect. And that's the show he came by and sung Eric out to the ring. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
You go. Yeah. But
that's when I met him.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen him before, and obviously in concerts.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I actually met him, and he's a real awesome guy.
No, he's awesome. He's awesome, man. He always takes care of me whenever they're local. He's like, hey, you guys coming to the show? And I'm like, yeah. He'll grab his tickets and stuff. Like, it's dope.
I went to see him at Dublin Deck. They killed it.
Yeah. They killed it. Yeah. No, they always kill it, man. They always kill it. They always put on an awesome show, man. Always.
It's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was talking about K7. She's like, "Oh, I went to a concert one time, and he took my phone, and took a selfie with me, and this and that." I said, "That's just him."
Like, that's me. Like, if I ever do make it big at AEW or something, like, that would be me running ringside. Give me a phone. Like, I see Randy Orton do it all the time. Like, give me a phone. Like, that would be me. Like, during like commercial breaks, like, I would get out of the ring and start signing autographs. Like, that's me. Like, it's awesome that you want my autograph. Like, I would never be like, no, I can't do autographs. Blah, blah, I can't do this, can't do that. Blah, blah. You know, if it was my gimmick, I would. Stuff like, no, it's time. If I was a heel, time. But if I'm a babyface and I'm on TV, like, I want to do Make-A-Wish. Like, I want to do all that stuff. Like, if I'm a huge baby face, like, I'm everywhere. Cancer hospitals, like, I'm going everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. Like, I'll give anyone that needs it. Here's one. Here you go, man. Hey, you want? Oh yeah, want selfie? Like, I would never say no to anybody if they want my autograph or selfie or anything. You know what I'm saying? So.
And it's a shame. There's some people that are like that, not just in wrestling, but in general.
Yeah, like, I would want to beat John Cena's Make-A-Wish number. That would be my goal.
He just set the record.
Yeah, he just did the record. Yeah, so now my job, I would want to beat his record. Like, I could do it too. Let's see how many wishes I can make.
Let's do it.
So
let's get it ready. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I want to talk about real quick. I know we've been on for an hour. You probably have to go.
No, it's all good.
But let's talk about some of the talent out there in AEW or WWE. Who do you see that you say, man, they got something going on?
Of course, MJ. Of course, MJF. Definitely MJF. A lot of people say, "Oh, we saw it from the beginning." Not a lot of people saw it. A lot of people hated MJF early on. They didn't think it. I was always cool with MJF. What I'm saying? When I did FIP, he hit me up and was like, "Oh, who worked FIP?" And I give him the contact information. So that's how he would get around. I was always cool. And even when I needed him, when I wanted to try out for MLW, I was like, "Hey, let's contact MLW," and he gave me the contact. Him and I've always been close. But he's the natural, man. Like, if he continues doing what he's doing, he'll be on that Mount Rushmore. He'll be there with Hogan and Flair. Like, if he just got to stay the course, man. And he's got a good brain on his shoulders. He's young. He's athletic. He has everything he needs. Like, when you see Superstar, when you see early Steve Austin, or you look at early Shawn Michaels, that's what you see. You see that. So definitely MJF is going for stardom. The one thing I wish would AEW do as a whole is just separate the Ring of Honor stuff. Because I know it, I watch it, I know Ring of Honor, I know that stuff. I've been watching it since I was a kid. But I think a lot of new wrestling fans don't know because they only watch mainstream stuff that's on network TV. So if I was Tony Khan, I would slowly introduce the Ring of Honor guys on like a separate show or something. You know what I'm saying? And highlight those guys and have Ring of Honor. I think he's putting in for a TV contract for Ring of Honor, and that'd be kind of dope. I can't wait to see that.
Right. I heard one more pay-per-view then. He's trying to get the
That'll be dope. That'll be dope, man. I hope he just keeps it separate.
Move it away,
Yeah, I hope he keeps it separate, man, because that'll be cool if you recreate that, man. Because that Ring of Honor energy, I went to a show in Sports Plus when Ring of Honor was in Sports Plus. It was Samoa Joe and I think it was Joe and Punk were in the main event, and it was sick, man. Like, early Ring of Honor was so cool to be around, like 04, 05, 06. Like, awesome stuff. So hopefully he keeps that and a lot of guys to work, man. Like, a lot of my friends work there and I see a lot of them doing big things. Hopefully they just continue. Like Alex Reynolds, he's in a great spot. John Silver's in a great spot. Like, it's great seeing him do his thing. Like, I honestly watch it just to watch those guys. Those guys I've been in the ring with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I was training, John Silver would come down to training school and I would run spots with him, so it's kind of cool. Him and I never wrestled. Him and I never worked a match on shows, but that's another guy I got to get in the ring with, John Silver. But yeah, like I've trained with these guys, man, and these guys I've been in the ring with and talked to, and it's cool seeing them.
Right. How's there in Jersey for Punk versus Joe 3 dudes at ringside?
Yes. Those shows. I was actually just watching one of them 2 days ago. I think Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, I was watching Punk Joe 3. Yeah, man. I have the DVD too. I'm always watching wrestling, or watching something, or listening to podcasts. Always something wrestling. Is always on in the background.
Awesome. What's coming up next for you besides Saturday's show at NYWC?
So I got NYWC, and really that's it. I'm kind of a little slow now. You know what I'm saying? So I got that, and then I got VPW coming up obviously the 19th. So at this age now, I'm 40, so I got to kind of pick where I'm going to wrestle at. Mm-hmm. You know, I do want to save my body. I don't want to kill myself. I've been lucky so far, knock on wood, my wood table here, that no major injuries to date. You know, a couple minor stuff that kept me out, but no major injuries to date. I've been a fairly healthy guy. Don Moore is a magician. Dr. Right. Don Moore, he's Synergy Pro Health, Well, and Fitness. He's here in Coram. I will plug him to the day I die because he took me out of pain. I've had lower back pain, I want to say, since like 2016. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was just wrestling wear and tear. And I finally went to Don Moore, and he's like, no. He's like, your SI joints are locked. He's like, loosen up your legs. Whap. Loosen up your leg. Whap. I've been for the first time, I've been out of pain in like 6 years. That's awesome. Like I'm able to walk with. Like I used to walk with pain. Like it was rough getting around a couple of times, but now I walk without pain. So it's kind of like I got to kind of pick and choose where I want to go. At this point, now that I'm 10 years in, it's like I'm not going to wrestle for if I can't get nowhere from this company, I'm not going to wrestle for you. Like it has to be almost stepping stones for me now. It's like, you know, if I'm going to wrestle for Limitless, it's got to get me to MLW. If I'm wrestling to MLW, it's got to get me to Impact. You know what I'm saying? It's got to get me somewhere. Right, you know, right. if I'm going to travel far or travel, because I have a family now, you know what I'm saying? So I can't be traveling across the U.S. like I did 5-6 years ago when I was single. You know, right. I was wrestling in Florida. I was wrestling FIP in Florida. I was doing extra work in California for WWE. You know what I'm saying? I went to Ohio to wrestle. You know what I'm saying? I can't do those travels no more. So I got to kind of pick and choose where I'm wrestling. So I kind of got a little bit of a gap. So I'm mostly doing VPW, mostly NYWC, and I'm doing actually Ace Pro Wrestling. Ace Pro Wrestling comes back on the 28th. So it's the week after, actually, Friday Night Massacre, where I get a chance to get my belt back from Vince Steele.
Oh, that'll be in Jersey, right?
That's in Jersey. Yeah, that's in Teaneck. The Knights of Columbus in Teaneck. That's Friday, October 28th.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for coming on the show.
No, absolutely, man. Thank you for having me, man. Absolutely. This is awesome.
Where can they follow you and stuff like that?
All right.
Let the audience know.
Yeah, I'm Alvin Alvarez on Facebook. Type in Alvin space Alvarez. I am also on Twitter, and I'm also on Instagram at AJ, letter FOR, letter U, number 2, letter C. All right. So if you could pop that up somewhere, Papa Dank, with your tech skills. You're not tech savvy.
I'm not tech savvy. My tech guy's sitting down eating a pizza or something. I don't know. Yeah. I'm working on it.
It's all good. So you can get it from my Facebook page, Alvin Alvarez.
All right. Thank you, dudes at Ringside. Man. I know they want to have you on one day.
Yeah. Send me a message. I'm on Facebook.
Buddies.
I'm on social media. Shoot me a message. I'm free. Absolutely.
All right. Last words for Adam and Silky.
We'll see you guys on the 19th, man. That's it. I'm like Biggie, man. I move in silence.
Gotcha.
See them on the 19th.
Silky got a new suit. Did you see that?
I didn't, and I could care less.
he spent an extra $20 and got a new suit.
Yeah. Tell him to learn how to tie a tie.
All right. Thank you, Alvin, for being on the show.
But thank you. Always a pleasure, brother. I'll see you soon.
We're going to take a break from the live shows for a week. I got some stuff coming up at work, but we got vlog interaction coming from the last Rage and Ronkonkoma show, and then we got the new one from the one that we just did. So stay tuned for that. And thank you, Alvin, once again.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Hopefully we can go to a K7 concert once he feels better.
Yeah, we'll get.
Yes. Actually, it's supposed to be this Saturday. I hope he's going to make it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they're at Westbury. Wow. All right. Yeah. Anyway, you have a good night, everybody.
You too.
Stay tuned for next episode.
Be well, everybody. And that's absolutely.
Got it? Nope. Goodbye.